Ah, too busy watching the screen. I didn't realise the timer would tick down to 0. Good evening. It is time. We're back. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're having a good day and that you had a good Halloween and that your week is going okay so far. It is nice to be back again because we missed last week because I was busy, but here we are back working. Power up, square off. We are going to do some fun stuff. My mic is as loud as it goes. Unfortunately, audio levels in OBS are just quiet. I could do with like some more external gain, or some like compressor or something. I have to look at the audio effects and stuff that are in there. I can turn the music down, and I'll stay close. I'll stay close to the microphone so you can hear me. But before I start, let's talk about Let Me Out. Let Me Out is the demo is coming very soon. Obviously it was supposed to be for Halloween, but the there was a bit of a shift in plan around story, and we're delayed on getting cutscenes recorded, so those are happening over the next couple of weeks, and once that's done, the demo will be going out to everyone who's currently on the beta testing mailing list. If you're not already on the beta testing mailing list, Alan, then you can sign up to get your free demo of Square Off and free demo of Let Me Out when that demo goes live at the first link in the description. Yeah, it's good fun. Means you can test games out early, test out the demos, and yeah, it's great. So let's talk about what we're doing today. Today we are working on power-ups. We are going to make a teleporter power-up and a bomb power-up. Now, the reason we want to make a bomb power-up is because one of the features that I wanted to have in Square Off is that the terrain is destructible. And it's a bit overpowered to have it so that just normal bullet shots will destroy terrain. So it was always an idea that we was going to have like bombs, which effectively are like a bigger version of bullets that flash red in the middle, and they'll explode after a given amount of time, doing damage in a given radius and destroying any blocks that sit within that radius as well. So with all that said, let's have a review of what we did last time. Last time we created the actual pickup and created the back-end code, theoretically, to get this working. Here's our little pickup. I don't know how big that is on screen. On my phone screen it's a little bit small, but it's this nice little floating orange thing. I think what I'm going to do just in the animation for it is make that Y position a little bit higher, because it's a bit low for me at the moment. I think I'm going to move it up a whole unit. And we will also move the collider just so it all lines up nicely. Offset on Y is going to be 0. Over here we want it to be 1, and then back here we can set it to 0 again. And now we've got a collider that moves with our diamond. Now you're probably wondering why it's not rotating anymore, and that's because the rotation is done through code and not through animations. So there we go. Gonna try not to ASMR people too much with me drinking water. Cool, so we've got our power up pickup in place. What we want to do is, I think let's start off with being able to have the player pick up the item. I think we did actually do this last time. Yeah, we've got the on trigger enter 2D, and then if the player, we're going to have a reference to the player, and if what we've collided with is the player, and the power-up that we've got is collectible, then we get the player to collect it. Let's see what that method does, because I haven't looked at it in a hot minute. Oh, here we go. So this is dependent on what type of power-up we are. We set collectible to false. We instantiate a collection effect at our position, and we set collectible to false. Well, that's a bit of doubling up. Let's get rid of that one, shall we? And we can set collectible false first. Deactivate the thing, and I tell you what, let's move this line ahead just so we don't get any weird lag where it can double up and end up collecting the thing twice, because that would be unfortunate. So we're handling most of the initialization in the child class. I'm going to delete this start method because it is doing absolutely nothing at the moment. So, things we need to do. We need to create this collection effect, which I'm thinking we're going to have some kind of variation on the particle effect that we're using for reloading. If we basically take that and spruce it up a little bit, give it a bit of a spiffing. Where have we got? Reload effect. Yeah, we'll take this one and we'll give this a little tweak to make that nice and big in our scene so we can see it. And I'm just going to turn on looping real quick so that we can see it happening. There you go. What am I doing? Unpack completely, because we want this to be a new prefab. This is going to be our power up collection effect. And I think we are actually going to create an empty game object called power up collection effect. Pop this in here, we'll reset the position. Let's reset the position of this one as well. God knows why it's so far away. And this is going to be a multi-part effect, which we are going to base off of that and also off of the I'm thinking we use the, where's the damage effect? Impact, land, jump, death, no, bullet break effect maybe. Sure, let's use that. Is that going to be the one? That looks about right. Reset the transform on that as well. Set that to be looping 2. And we will hit play. Hey Casper, how you doing, man? We are creating some particle effects today. Let's unpack this completely. We are obviously going to change the color of this. I'm thinking a vibrant green. It's probably going to have to be a little bit darker, a bit more desaturated so that it shows up over the background. If I just keep an eye up here, maybe let's make it a bit more blue, more turquoise. No. Maybe we have it be a random color. Yeah, let's do that. Random between 2 gradients, and then we can have the first of these being this kind of turquoisey blue type color. I want to make it really bright, but I need to make sure it shows up. That looks about right. And then we will have this end be the more kind of pink. Oh, why is that not working? Hey, Webhead, good to see you, man. Do we gonna finish seating mode? Seating, oh my days, seated mode. I assume that's instead of playing in a VR headset. I've lost my music as well. I need to just turn that back. There we go. That'll be pretty cool, seated mode. What platforms are you porting to, by the way? Is it just going to be PC or? Oh, I understand how this works now. Okay, we want it to be random between two colors. There we go. We've got the pink, and let's go with our turquoisey blue as well. I think these have to be bright. They have to be really bright, or we're going to end up with some weird dullness. It's like sherbet. It's quite nice, to be honest. And we'll use the same thing on this bit. So this is going to be the power up, and this is going to be the explosion. And we are going to, yes, copy the colors. Which, of course, to do that, I am just going to copy across the hex codes. Now, my concern is that this is not going to look very good for this one. And so we're probably going to want to do a color over lifetime type thing. And of course they will sync up. Duration is the same. Will they sync up? Also, I'm thinking this one needs to be a color over lifetime. We're going to go from purple to blue. Oh yeah, the blue blockers. My glasses. My glasses. Going to tell me off for that every time. Sitting as opposed to standing. Porting to Steam VR, Oculus, PC, and Oculus Quest. Lovely. Man, how do you afford all of these VR headsets? I'm sat here like potentially looking at Nintendo Switch, and I'm nervous for what the expenses for that are going to be, because I can imagine that it's going to cost a lot of money. But of course, if and when I find that out, it's information that you can't disclose because of the whole NDA thing. We are doing color over lifetime, and we are going to have this one be our... Is that the pink? No, that's the blue. We want it to end on the blue. Which means this start color needs to be white, and then we need to get our pink. Copy. And paste that in there. There we go. So this is our power up effect, and also I need to make sure that this renders behind our gubbins. My brain is just blanked. Reload effect. There it is. 10. Move those to 10 on the Z-axis. There's the explosion. There is the zippy zip. there is them both together, which I like that. I like that. It looks cool. Looks cool indeed, and 1.5 is going to be, I think 1.5 is going to be our position. We just need to make sure we move the explosion up a bit by like 0.255, because otherwise it spawns our particles inside the ground, and obviously we don't want that. So let's also make sure those are not looping, and that there is no start delay on either of them. Start speed, start lifetime, yep, that's all good. And we will take that and stick it into our prefabs. Can delete that from there, and then the power up pickup, we want to make sure our collection effect is going to be our power up collection effect. There we go. Yes, that was the other thing. We need to specify a text object so that when we collect the thing, we can say that our text, collection text, we're probably going to have to do this in the child, aren't we? Yeah, you know what, I'm going to delete these from the parent, and I'm going to move them into specifically the weapon. Shouldn't have any errors in here. Oh, we've got this. We're not going to worry about that, because I think no, I've changed my mind. We're going back. We're going to keep it as it was. Yeah, we'll keep that there. We can get rid of the animator though. Yeah. I want this to be delayed slightly. So I'm actually gonna say if is collectible, we will set it active. Oh, actually, no. There we go. We can do that. If is collectible is false, we're going to do no. I feel like I've coded this a bit wrong, because I want to no, I'm being stupid. Let's get the power up collection effect, and we are going to, I'm going to just get both of those. I want them both in there so that I can see them. Beautiful. I think I want to make those lines thinner though. I'll decide that later. We are going to create a text mesh pro. We are going to call this power up title. We are going to set the font to be the correct thing. Let's call it teleport for now, and we are going to make it center justified. We're going to make it our lovely grey. That is not the same grey. Oh, maybe it is. No, it's not. It's definitely darker. I want it to be the same. Maybe it is the same. Maybe I'm just being a bit stupid. It is the same. Man, colorblind. Tell you what, let's make it all caps as well, because that's exciting. And we are using Sora Light, I believe. Maybe let's use Sora Bold. There's a bug in Text Mesh Pro where you can't select separate fonts. After you've already selected one, you have to close the window and then pick a new one. We're going to use Sora Light and we're going to make it, going to leave it like that. And basically what this is going to do, if I just scale it down for size, so it's about the same size as our thing. Oops. I lied actually, we're not going to make it. Sorry, my brain is focusing up. I can never remember how to set the sorting layer of Text Mesh Pro objects. Wait, did I create... I did create 3D, didn't I? Yeah, it still has a rect transform. Interesting. That feels wrong. Yeah, I can't remember how to change the sorting order. Somehow I've never got Text Mesh Pro to do what I want, so in the end I'm going quickly removing it from your projects. Yeah, the default Unity text is so rubbish compared to the normal text, and it's just less faff for me to try and use the normal one rather than try and use any fancy extras. Sorry, I'm like trying to make sure I get these sizes right. There's my player. We want this text to be nice and big over a player's head. Nice and bold. I tell you what, let's do it. Let's go with the bold. Let's go nice and big, and we're going to make it flash in bright colours. And it's going to do a like that. Fly out the top of the player's head like a whoop. So maybe I do want that to be an animator actually. Oh, knocking the mic. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a little record an animation on here, because then it will just play automatically. Animation, entities, power up pickups, new, effect, text. And we're going to call this pickup, I guess. It is not going to loop. We are going to hit record, and it is going to start off with a variation of this pink. Maybe. No. See, here's another issue. We have to pick something. No, you know what? We're going to stick with the grey. The grey's fine. There's enough flashy colours going on, I think. And we are going to start it off with an alpha of 0. We are going to come over to maybe like 40 seconds. 40 frames even. And I want it to be about here above the head. So now we're going to do some fun with curves. I'm actually going to bring this forwards, this position back a little bit. That's where we want it to end up. So we here. Oh wait, I'm doing this the wrong way. Position, opacity. So now it's like that. We're going to come here. about frame 20, and we're actually going to move it down. No, we're not. We're going to move it up. Can never remember the order in which you're supposed to do these things. We're going to come to here and we're going to move it up. So it's like, whew. There we go. Now we've got this jump up, and then we get to here. Opacity is going to be keyframed in, and then we are going to fade it back to 0. So now we have, look at that, that's beautiful, if I do say so myself. Well, I'm quite happy with that, with the effects as well. Yeah, I think that's going to look really cool, although I'm looking at it now and I feel like I've spelt teleport wrong, even though I'm pretty confident I've spelt it absolutely right. Cool, so let's apply that, and we are going to, once again, we've applied it, yeah, we've applied it, so we can delete it, and then over in our code, when we collect it, we are going to say game object collect effect have I got, no I don't, oh I do have the power up name by default. This is great. Okay, so collection effect equals this, cast it to a game object. Can I not do that? No, I have to do .gameObject. Man, forgetting how to code. And then we are going to do collection effect dot get component in children, which is pretty inefficient, but text mesh pro dot text equals power up name. Simple as that. Let's just go over to the animation. Hello, hello. How you doing, my guy? If I am interpreting your name correct, I believe you must be my good man, Wandering Pixel, and it's been a while since we've chatted, so I hope you're doing good, man. I hope you're doing good. Of course, if you're not Wandering Pixel, please say hi. We do love to meet all the peoples. Set that not to loop. Cool tricks. So now let's delete the power up pickup. I think I can delete the power up pickup. Yep, that can go. Everything is set up. We no longer need a reference to collection text, and we're no longer be setting collection text in our actual pickups, because that's going to be set up here. I just need to make sure I'm doing this. So let's power up name equals power up dot power up name. Yep, that's cool. Let's go into our item pickup and get rid of this as well. Mate, I appreciate you guys being around. Of course, I remember the people that I interact with. It's unbelievably humbling getting to chat with you guys and having you come along on this amazing journey with me in the world of game development. So many cool things have been happening with the studio recently as well. We've got a new developer is going to be coming on board to help with some of the projects, which means games are going to be more likely to get released when they're supposed to be. We've got the website obviously up and running, with all the things like the newsletter, demos, things like that. We're looking into porting to consoles for Square Off and for Let Me Out, which is really cool. yeah, there's just loads of cool stuff has happened in the past like 4 months with the studio. It's very, very exciting. So now I've got to remember where I was. Power-ups, yes. We have done all of the things. We've done all the things. Power-ups should work, theoretically. I suppose the smart thing to do will be to test it, I think. Or realistically, we need to get power-ups spawning. It's probably going to be smart. So let's... What's something that's always going to be in the scene? I think the game session manager is probably going to be the one. So, I'm going to take off my hoodie as well. It's getting a bit toasty. Where is it? Core systems, here we go. Game session managers, and we've got the default. So yeah, the way that SquareOff works, for those interested, the game session manager handles game sessions as you'd expect. So this is the actual time that you spend in game. It handles how many rounds you play, what power-ups are spawned, what the game mode is and how the rules work for that, and the game loop of the game mode that you're playing. So for the basic game mode, this is just a death match. What I need to do is strip all of this out of here and turn this into an abstract class. Have all of these things like start round, game loop, and all that jazz as virtual methods. Game loop should be fine to leave as is, actually, but all of the other methods like start round, play round, end round, these are all going to be virtual, and something like acknowledge player death is going to be its own. It's like a method specific to a certain game mode. So that's all fine. What we want to do is in our game session manager, I'm actually going to drag an instance of game session manager or game session. Is it on the game manager? No, it's not. We do instantiate a game session, or we create a new one. I genuinely can't remember how. I think we just instantiate it because it is a... Yeah, here we go, session manager. So we instantiate a new session manager. And what I'm actually going to do, which feels like a bit of a busted way to do things, but I'm going to put like 10 power-ups or 10 power-up objects. This is going to be our power-up pool. Effectively, let's just do. That's 10. We're going to zero all of those out, obviously. Let's zero this out as well. Yeah, reset. Why are you invisible? It's because you need to be at 10. That's why. And we will have in here, we'll have a public, no we won't, we'll have a serialized field, square brackets please, private power up pickup. Can I do that? I should be allowed to do that. An array of power. Oh, it's because it's not called power up, it's called power pickup, which is an annoying typo on my part. but kind of stuck with it, and we're going to call this pickup pool. And we are also going to have under round data, no, we won't have it under round data. I think this is going to be under game session data. We will have a another serialized field private power up SO array available power ups. And what we'll do in practice is in the menu, when you are setting up the session, you're picking your game mode, saying what power-ups you want to be available, if power-ups are available, etc, etc. We'll have all of the power-ups available in the game manager, and then, or in the game configuration screen. And then when you've picked which ones you want to have, we'll pass that list through as an array to the game session manager in the start session method. Where we take in this session player data, rounds to win. I think eventually I'll just create an object called game session data, and we'll use that as a substitute, just so we don't have to keep overloading this method a whole bunch. But that's all well and good. And then what we're gonna do during this play round, while remaining players is greater than 1, we will randomly spawn power-ups. So what I also need to do in internal data or round data, I want a private int current power-up count, so that I can keep track of the number of power-ups that have currently been spawned, or that are currently spawned. Yeah. And we probably want a serialized field private int. No. Float. No. Yeah, float. Min spawn time. And another one for max spawn time. So these represent time between attempting to spawn a power-up, so that we don't end up with some spamming going on, or we have some control over what this range is. And we could also use that for some fun things like a power-up blitz game mode or something, where it just spawns power-ups every second. That would be quite funny, to be honest. Either way. Let's think about how we're actually going to implement this. So first things first, obviously we're going to want a public void spawn power-up. And this is simply going to pick a random position. A random position in the world, preferably a random position in the world where there is ground. So I think we'll probably say vector 3 spawn position equals vector 3.0, and actually we are going to make this a vector 2 because vector 2s are nice. And then we are going to do a while spawn position is equal to vector 2.0. We will say, no, we don't want to do that. Yes, we do want to do that. We will say vector 2 temp equals new vector 2 random dot range, and this is going to be the width of our map, which we can get from our safe zone. Maybe we can't get it from our save zone. Let's see what positions. Ah, yeah, what am I doing? Let's use the floor real quick. I'm just going to duplicate it and set the scale to 1 by 1. We will just yoink it all the way over here, and that gives us our min and max for both X and Y, because that sits perfectly in this corner basically. So we're looking at negative 17.25 to 17.25 on X and negative 9.5 to 9.5 on the Y. So let's put that in. 17.25F to 17.25F, and then random.range negative 9.5F to 9.5F, and then we are going to do a one sec, there it is. We are going to do a physics if, wait no, we're going to do raycast hit 2D equals physics 2D, sorry, 2D dot raycast temp vector 2 dot down, and then we want to say if hit 2D. We also want to specify a layer mask for this, which we will just call up here. Actually, do I have it on layout? I do. It's on the layer environment, so we will have a public layer mask environment layer. Yep, good. Stop. Have this be our environment layer, and then we can say if we've hit something, we are going to set our spawn position equal to that position. What is that position, you ask? Oh, good question. New vector 2. We want the position on X, but we want to increase the Y by 0.5 so that it's actually on the floor rather being in the floor. So vector 2 temp.x and temp.y plus 0.5f. We are then going to say oh, I can spawn power up a position. Wait, what? When did I write this class? Apparently I wrote a whole power up spawner class. I mean, great. I've actually got the thing. I'm impressed that I did that, and I also don't remember doing it. Okay, that's cool. Okay. We can backtrack a little bit then. We want to have this power-up spawner be on our game session manager, basically. So in our game session manager, rather than having... We still want this because we want to know the position, but rather than having all of these references... we can have a private power-up spawner. Spawner. We won't worry with having that in there. We'll move that into the spawner as well. And then that method we've got, we'll find the position and we'll just do spawn position equals that, and then spawn power-up spawner, sorry, dot spawn power-up at position, spawn position. And we also want to pass through the power up, so we're going to do power ups random.range between 0 and power ups dot length. So let's have a look at this method. Okay, I'm starting to understand. I'm starting to understand what's happening. So vector to position obviously is important, and we also need a power up SO power up. So we're gonna have to make a minor tweak to our actual power up pickup. That is, oh, we've got the is collectible actually. What I need to have happen is when we do this collect, we will have a terrible programming, but I don't have the brain power right now to refactor my code to be nice, so we're going to have a reference to our game session manager. Game session, no, to our power up spawner. And that way we can change the count of the spawner when the power up is collected. Really, we'd want to be doing this with an event. Go on. We'll do it with an event. No, yeah, we will. Yeah, we will. We'll use a Unity event. And we'll also make it private. Because we don't need to do anything fancy. And then we'll do a public void start. We are going to say in our power up spawner we will have a method public void change spawned count int change, and we will simply say private int spawned power ups equals 0, spawn power ups equals plus equals change, and then when we call this method, we simply have to do a little check around all this stuff to say don't pretty much just don't spawn stuff. If spawn power-ups is equal to, greater than or equal to power-up prefabs.length, we want that to be less than or equal to, so that we can only spawn power-ups when we haven't got the max amount spawned. And then in here we will say game object dot find object of type power up spawner dot change spawn count, and we want to say spawner dot add listener Do I need to... No, I'm gonna have to do this as power up spawner equals this. We do spawner. Temp. Sorry, not temp. Not spawner even. Temp. What do you mean? Oh, I have to do a fancy thing, don't I, if I want it to... There we go. That means I probably don't need that, actually. Yep. Do it all in one, and then we can fire off that event in here, basically. We will do collect... or what did I call the event? Oh, spawner. I don't want it to be called spawner. Change collect on change collectible. There we go. On change collectible. And then in our set collectible method, we are going to say on change collectible question mark dot invoke is collectible. If it is, we are going to pass in 1. If it isn't, we are going to pass in -1. Simple as. So now we can keep track of how many of our power-ups are spawned. What we want to do on start for this, public void start. Not even start, we're going to have a void called init, which we are going to call at the start of every round. We are going to say for each power up wait, I need to say for each power up pickup in power up prefabs pickup dot set collectible. Is that a private method? Yes, it is. Let's make that public. False. Good evening, Frozen Well. How you doing, man? Good to see you back. Today we are working on power-ups, and my brain is struggling to comprehend code, but we are going to have at least the collection and spawning of power-ups working by the end of this coding session. Ideally, we will also have the ability to teleport, but we'll see how that goes. I'm thinking probably the teleportation is going to be pretty straightforward to do, or at least it should be. It'll just be a case of, if I think about how the controls will work, you press square to use your item. So I'm thinking you jump, and then whatever direction you're pressing in with the left stick, you'll teleport in that direction. And if you're not pressing in any direction, you'll just teleport straight up, I guess. I feel like that makes sense. Oh, 12-hour day of coding at work. That is pain. That is true pain. You know, having done a 7.5-hour day of coding at work, 12 hours that's next level. I do not envy you. So we've got a power-up spawner reference in here. When we start a round, we are waiting for the level to load. We are setting the battle music, which I'm going to disable during the stream because I need to write new music. We're doing all of these things somewhere in here before we start the round proper, we are going to say powerup spawner.init. Init. And that's going to initialize all of our spawning. And what we can do during our play round, we are just at the start going to call spawn powerup spawner dot we need to start coroutine. We are going to start coroutine powerup spawner dot spawn powerup at position. No, we're not. No, we're not. See, now I'm thinking that we should just move all of that. What? Oh, I was about to be really confused. Like, I thought this was code that I'd written last time as well, and I was about to be like, how on earth did this work? But it's code that I literally just wrote like 10 minutes ago. That doesn't bode well. Yeah, so the problem is our wait times that we've got. If I just move my powerup spawner over here so then they're nice and close together, we are doing the waiting in here because we're not keeping track of it in the game session manager. So I suppose all of this logic can just come out of here into the powerup spawner, and we will just you see, that's not the way I want to do things though. Because I don't want to be keeping spawning power-ups after the round has ended. We want to just wait for a certain period of seconds during the round. Dum 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 dum. That will work. That will work. So in our init, yeah, that'll work. That'll work. We are going to have public void update. Is game session manager a singleton? No, it's not. But game manager is. So what we can do is say if game manager dot instance dot game session current game session dot in round becomes false, we can have a private, is it IEnumerator? Do you reference them like that, or is it coroutine? Coroutine, yeah. Power up spawn process, and then we can say if power up spawn process is not equal to null, we will do power up spawn process dot wait, how do you I can't remember how to kill it. Guys, help. How to kill a coroutine in Unity. How do I end a coroutine? Stop coroutine. Ah, that is bright. So bright. Yeah, cool. I can do it like that. So we are going to do stop coroutine. That one. Yeah, there we go. And then in init we can simply say Or is this the type of thing that I am going to want to reference in the other class? This is what happens when you write code without planning. You end up with a weird mess of spaghetti, and the spaghetti keeps getting thicker. It needs to be from the session manager, because the session manager knows what pickups were allowed, what power-ups were allowed even. Yeah. So actually, yes, there we go. What have I got copied at the moment? I have got spawn power up. We are going to put this in here as a enumerator. We are going to get rid of that, like so. We are going to move these. We're going to move this up here. Oh no, that doesn't help. Planning his volumes. That's a big balls move. Dive straight in, head first. Oh no, it's so spaghetti. So right, let's walk through the problem in our heads and see what we're doing. At the start of the round, we want to fire off a coroutine that calls itself recursively. Oh, okay, I tell you what, I am not brain power. Session data. Let's copy this. We're gonna stick this in here, and then why? Oh yeah, that's fine. In it, we are going to take an array of power up SO power ups, and we are simply going to say available power ups equals power ups. No power ups, please. So now we know which power ups we can use. And we will make this a void now because it doesn't need to be an enumerator. We will take, oops, all of this code back out of here because it doesn't need to be in there anymore. We're going to move this into this method. Whoops. Close. There we go. We're going to need a reference to our environment layer, so let's go take that out of here because we don't need it in there anymore. Blah blah blah. Save. Paste that in here. And we want to do a yield return new wait for seconds random dot range between our min wait time and our max wait time. Just make sure those are both floats. Yep. And then at the end of this method we will say power up spawn process equals start coroutine spawn power up. random available power-ups random dot range 0 and available power-ups dot length. Semicolon on the end of that. What have I done wrong? There we go. Nope, not quite. Wrong type of bracket, that's why. Oh god. That. There we go. Brackets are my enemy. And then in it, we will do the same. We will simply go here and say our power-up process equals that. Okay, that should finally be that sorted. Why? Oh yeah, available power-ups. Cool! I think I'm probably gonna have. No, it does need a reference to an item. Ooh, okay. Power-ups are spawning now, theoretically, and we're just gonna make it so that when we walk into them, oh my brain. Okay, let's try this out. Session manager now has this available power-ups. We also want to add a power-up spawner onto here. Map size. Oh, it takes into consideration the map size. 17.25 and 9.5, I think was what we said. Power-up spawn effect is going to be our... Oh, we haven't made a power-up spawn effect. Tell you what, let's just use the reload effect for now. I'm being lazy, that'll work. Min wait time, let's say 1 second. Max wait time, let's say like 5, just so we can test it. Environment layer is going to be environment, obviously. And then power up prefabs is going to be all of these. Power up Let's just lock that, and I can drag and drop all of them in. There we go. Let's apply all of that. And then the power-up spawner is going to be itself. So, yeah, the next thing we need to do is set up some actual power-ups. Let's do that, shall we? We should have somewhere in here a folder called power-ups. If not, let's make one. Power-up SOs. Create power-up weapon teleporter. Unlock our inspector. Our power-up color is going to be the orange that we had. Or a shade of orange anyway, a nice bright kind of reddy orange. I think that should be good. We're not worrying out spawn rate at the moment, and we are going to call it teleport in all caps. So what we need to do now, in my prefabs folder, I'm actually going to create a new folder called weapons, and another new folder called items, and then we can actually create some some game objects that we can attach scripts to. So scripts, power-ups, weapons, and I'm going to create a new folder called Weapon Impulse. Weapon Impulse, short for implementations, and we are going to go create C# script teleport impul. Actually no, we'll just call it teleport. And we're going to pop it open in Visual Studio. And we are going to call this, we are going to inherit, from weapon. Going to implement our abstract class. And this is going to be really cool. We are going to have a public game object. No, not game manager, game object. Teleport effect, and that's everything we need actually. So when we use the teleport, we are going to do a vector2 input vector equals player to effect dot velocity. No, I've got to be able to get access to the input vector. Hold that thought. I don't have player movement open. There it is. You know what? I'm going to make this public, but I'm going to have it be get private set like that. Would you? Okay. Just move it down here. There we go. So that shouldn't break anything in here, he says. Cool, nothing broken in here. So we can now get access to the input vector. And we're going to say... no we won't. Teleportation vector equals this. Sorry, I'm going a bit rogue. Teleport vector to destination. Cool. Let's move this back into place. So, it's effectively going to be the... Yeah, so what we're going to do this teleportation vector equals, and then we'll do a player to effect dot input vector is equal to vector 2.0 question mark. If it is, then we're going to use vector 2.up. If it isn't, we are going to use player input vector dot normalize. We are then going to start coroutine teleport, and we're going to pass in our teleportation vector multiplied by like 2. So that's going to give us a teleportation distance of 2 units in any given direction. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do player to... Oh, wait, no, I don't have access to the player anymore. Let's take that in as well then, shall we? Player, movement, player. We will say player dot game object dot set active false. And then we will do a yield return new, wait for seconds. We will wait for like 1 second. Why am I getting errors? There's no argument. Oh. Perform teleport. There you go. Would you? Oh. Man, today is not my day. it's not my day as far as brain power goes. So we wait for a second. Then this is where the funky stuff happens. We need to do a check. We're going to do a if physics 2D dot overlap box at destination vector vector 2.1, because our man is only 1 by 1. The angle is going to be our player dot rotation transform dot rotation dot z, and we want our layer mask to be public layer mask env mask env mask. So if that's the case, the player has teleported into a wall. They will now die. Else, and then the player has teleported successfully. Move them to the new destination. We're going to say player.transform.position equals destination. And we will also then instantiate our effect again, which we haven't actually done at all. So we're just going to player.gameObject.setActive true. And now I think the benefit of this is that we're not going to be getting any funky input issues or damage issues when we do this, because the player won't be enabled anymore. The only weird issue that I feel like we could potentially run into is that the game session manager is going to detect that this player doesn't exist anymore, and we're going to get some like null pointer exceptions or something. We hope and pray that that's not the case, but we'll see. So we are going to do player dot die basically. I think that should be fine. We want to move the player to our destination position first though. So actually, yeah, let's do that. Move the player, and then we'll do physics.overlap destination, blah 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 blah. Kill them, or we teleport successfully. So I want to just double check that that die method is gonna do what I want it to do. Player is dead, freeze equals true, invoke death, set active false. Trying to think of what things are listening to on player death. Acknowledge player death. Yeah, we'll have a special effect teleport. We'll have a public game object death by squish effect. That works. And we'll instantiate death by squish. Instantiate death by squish at destination quaternion dot identity. We're going to instantiate our teleport effect at the player dot transform dot position quaternion dot identity, and we're doing that first before we disable the player because it looks better, and then we will go down here and instantiate a new one before we reactivate the player. So theoretically the teleport now works, and it just gets annoying the way that we have to do this now, because we have to go in here. We have to create an empty game object called teleport weapon. We'll reset its position. We are going to add our teleport to it. Oh yeah, I forgot there's like cooldown times and stuff. Environment is obviously the layer we're going to use. For our teleport effect for the time being, I think we'll use the reload effect again. And for death by squish, we are going to use the bullet break effect, just for the time being. Cooldown time, let's set the cooldown time to 3 seconds. No, we'll set it to 5, just so it can't be no, let's set it to 2. Because we all love when you can just spam teleport stuff. And we're going to set use cooldown to true. So we're actually going to set this to 2.5 because we want to take into consideration the... oh! It's 3. It is going to be 3. Want to take into consideration the time it uses to teleport. I feel like 1 is going to be too long. Let's go 0.5. And we'll leave it at 3. So that's fine. And then in the actual weapon top thing, yeah, we say if... Oh! No! That's not what I want to do. That's not how I want cooldowns to work. Okay, fine. We won't use cooldown. I'll sort that out later. That's fine. We are going to make this a prefab. We are going to delete it from our hierarchy. We are going to go into our session manager, and we are going to add our teleport weapon as one of our available power-ups. Is that not something I can do? Oh no, of course it's not. I need to add it in there, and then on the teleporter I need to drag and drop this in here. Oh, it feels so janky. But we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it. We'll apply our overrides on our session manager. We will delete that. And then we just need to... I'm gonna add our controls back in for... Am I? Yeah, I am. I'm gonna add in controls again for adding in, playing with a keyboard, sorry, adding in, because I need, unless I just be cheeky and go into my, is it the game manager or is it the player? It's one of the scripts that does, oh no, because then it'll break all of my things. Yeah, screw it. We'll add a binding space. Bruh. That doesn't seem right. Oh. It's not listening for anything. There's our supported devices. Got keyboard, mouse. Why is that busted? That's so random. Let's try updating. See what happens. Our input system is verified and up to date apparently. No, it's not. Update to 1.2.0, and let's hope this doesn't just royally shaft everything. That's really strange that it's just not picking up any key. Nah, still not. Hey, there we go. So now we listen, space. There we go. Attack. We use left shift. And then to move, we're adding a composite. WASD. Up is going to be W, obviously, down, S, left, and right will be D. Cool, let's see if this works, shall we? Scenes, player select. Oh, is this going to be where I found out I've changed this royally and now it's not going to work? I hope not. Do-do-do. Just going to take all of these and drop the volume to 0. Actually, I can just mute them. There we go. Moment of truth, everybody. Moment of truth. First of all, we're going to see if things are actually spawning. Second of all, we're going to see if they're collectible. I'm pressing space and nothing is happening. Oh no, that's not right. That's the player select screen. Have I got another screen somewhere? There we go. Ah, and I can join us. Still got our nice sound effects in there. Oh, did you see that? It spawned a power up. Okay, so that's... We've also got a null reference exception. Whoa. Oh, God. Okay. So, that's going to be an infinite loop. Line 28 of power up pickup. Huh? What do you mean? So I found a cool little hack which should be able to help us with this this problem we're running into. Stick a breakpoint in here. Because I think I'm in debug mode. Could not insert breakpoint. Breakpoint cannot be found. Ugh, great. Okay, we're going to have to restart Unity. So, somewhere I've created an infinite loop. Which is not ideal. Because... Oh, I hate it when those happen. Oh... Did I set wait times? I did, didn't I? Yeah. So it should be waiting. Let's make sure we are... Let's go back into the player select screen. I believe I saved... I did not. Let's delete that. Title screen. I don't know why I've got... I need to restructure all of this. They hurt my eyes as well, man. Don't worry. I need to go on a cleaning spree. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. There we go. We've got debugging enabled. We've got our breakpoint. Let's just have a look at our script initialization order. So we want to make sure that game session manager comes in early. Do this at like 3:10. Now let's see where... Oh, hit apply. See if we can track down this infinite loop issue. So I can't use the spacebar here, but I can use it down here. Interesting. Right. That's fine. Are we getting these? No, we're not. That's good. It's got to do this for each one. That's our last one. And there we go, it's crashed again. No! I don't know where it's crashed. Oh, this is so annoying. Yeah, I feel that. I quite enjoy UI design, to be fair, though. It's one of my more favourite things to do. We are just calling init. So it's got to be the spawner. Something in the spawner. We call init. Set our process equal to this. Let's stick a breakpoint in here. And of course we were still getting those null pointer exceptions. It's hard to keep track of where all of these things are happening. Or where all of these things could be happening. Because we're getting a null pointer exception when we do the add listener, which is weird. What do we think? What do we think? What could it be? I'm gonna just stick a method breakpoint on there. Stick a don't need to stick a breakpoint on there because we can step in. This is probably not great. Yeah, we don't want to be doing that. We want to be calling this. We want to be calling init. We want to instantiate the spawn effect, and then we want to do for in I equals 0, I is less than power up prefabs.length I++, if powerup prefabs I dot is I need to know if it's collectible. Script, it's public, false by default. Is collectible. We want to know if it is not collectible, then we are going to power up prefabs I dot init power up to spawn. This needs to be available power-ups, and you're going to be a power-up SO. What's the other thing? It needs a position. Spawn location. So that's fine. Oh, it's gonna be this, isn't it? It's gonna be this while loop. Because it's running in the main thread. Ooh, that's a tough one. I mean, the easiest solution here, obviously, is having spawnable zones. Which I guess that makes sense, rather than just picking a random place. If we have spawnable zones and then pick a zone and then pick a place within that zone. That kind of doesn't make me happy though. I want it. I don't want to redo it. And then I'd need to have spawnable locations for every map. Which, I mean, you know, that makes sense. That's something to do. You know what? For the time being, let's just say spawn location equals that, and then found spawn location equals true. Please. True. And then we can comment out all of this. And then it's instantly going to break out of this loop. Wait, what? Oh, I understand. Kinda. What I've done. Screw it. I mean, that should fix our infinite loop issue, just for the sake of you know, covering all my bases. Let's comment this out and comment this out. So we're just doing our spawn location. Yeah. And this is gonna just spawn things in at a random position between negative map height and positive map height, but for the purposes of testing, I can live with that. Null reference exceptions everywhere. But we have indeed... Oh! It just tried to spawn something. Do-we-do? Why is it trying to spawn items? Are you seeing the spawn effects popping up on the screen? It's doing it, but it's trying to spawn... Oh, it's because these are... these are item pickups. I need them to be weapon pickups. Oh, that's a flaw, isn't it? That is a bit of a flaw. Well, I tell you how we can fix this. We can get our session manager, we can go in here, we can grab half of our things, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We can remove this component and add a component that is our weapon pickup. Collection effect will be powerup collection effect. Graphics transform, we're going to have to go through and set them all individually. Blur. Fine. And we'll call this weapon pickup. Call this item pickup. And then over here in our spawner, I think it's the spawner. Yes, when we do this, we are going to do a quick little bool is weapon equals power up to spawn is weapon SO. And then we can say in here I think if we have a weapon pickup, no, yeah, weapon pickup, weapon pickups. And then we will also have, let's just make sure I've not got something useful copied. I don't. An array of item pickup, item pickups. And we will do this for both. And then down at the bottom, we will... if is weapon, we do that, else this is going to be item pickups, item pickups, item pickups. Great. Now we should be fine. I just want to know why we're getting these null pointer exceptions, because this should not be a thing. On line 28 of power up pickup, when we do on change collectible dot add list, oh, that's why new Unity event of type int. Ah, guys, I think we finally made it. I think we have finally made it. And we have collectible power-ups that should say teleport when you pick them up. The only thing I'm concerned about is cleanup. Oh, you seeing that? Power-ups. I forgot to delete the... Oh, look. Pew. Oh my gosh, that's a lot of null pointer exceptions. There's also power-ups spawning in, but they're not getting activated. Oh yeah, because I haven't actually set up the things, have I? It would help if we did that. So let's get our item pickups in there, and our weapon pickups in there. And we will apply all of the overrides. And we will delete our session manager, and we will save. And finally, this is going to be the last attempt before I do the sign off. Fingers crossed. No null pointer exceptions so far. There's one. Oh! I got it. Setting the parent of a transform which resides in a prefab is disabled to prevent data corruption. Okay, but it works. And it looks kind of cool. When you get that power up, okay, we need to fix that. Pew. Oh, yes. So the only issue is that I can't teleport. And there's loads going on. Okay. Well, guys, this is progress. We're coming up to the 2-hour mark, so I'm going to call it a day there. But I'm quite happy with where we're at. There's obviously lots of bugs that need ironing out. We will get to the bottom of those. Probably over the course of this week. And hopefully I can push out my plans for next week, which we won't be doing on stream just because it's not particularly interesting and I'm going to have to read a lot of documentation for it. But next week off stream I'm going to be looking at doing the implementation for the online multiplayer using Steam's networking. Once that's the case, I will be mailing out an updated version of the demo with the 10 maps, destructible terrain, and a few of the power-ups out to everyone who's currently on the mailing list for beta testing. If you're not already, it's the first link in the description. I send out demos for every game that we put out, basically, and you've got to be on that list to be able to get them. So head on over and sign up to that if you haven't already. If you haven't wishlisted Square Off on Steam, please consider doing so. You can do that at a link in the description as well. If you're not already in the Discord community, join the Discord community so we can get some more conversation going. We've got a lot of memes coming out at the moment, which is fun. It's funny seeing relatable programmer memes that make me a bit sad but are terribly true. So yeah, do join the Discord server if you're not already in the Discord server, and if you missed some of this live stream and want to watch more of it back, then head on over to the Patreon page, where you'll be able to get full access to all of our past live streams for less than you would spend on coffee a month. It really helps getting the financial support for the studio for things like running the website, running publisher fees and things like that. So it would mean a lot if you would consider taking that and getting access to the live streams and early access to full releases when they come out. Yeah, I think that basically brings us to a wrap-up point. I want to thank everybody for coming and watching. It's always fun doing these streams, and we'll be back next week where we'll be doing probably implementation of more fun power-ups and testing out the destructible terrain as well. So that'll be really fun to do. Brilliant. Thanks very much, guys. I'll catch you in the next one.